Welcome back to another episode of Thinking Thoughts. I'm your host, Zach King, and let's get into it. Books can save your life. Man, books are really amazing. So I am in this audiobook of Dune right now, and it's pretty freaking fantastic. The writing in the story is bizarre. It really feels like Game of Thrones meets Star Wars, I think, and maybe a little bit of X-Men. It's pretty wicked. It's pretty wild. The challenge is that the language can be overwhelming. They say so many different types of beautiful things, and sometimes my brain gets wrapped up in the poetry. One of the amazing things, I think, about diving into a world, and not just a story, is that there are real, tangible bits of information and wisdom that I can absorb and take with me. So, they've got this real interesting magic meets science meets religion happening in Dune. So there's all types of wisdom flowing in and through this book and with the characters. I'm in the part of the book right now. I'm past the halfway mark. And these characters are in a very dire situation. And part of their training is to be completely composed all the time. I mean, I think the intensity of the politics in Dune is such that everyone is always controlling themselves all the time to not let on to an enemy or someone they don't know about their emotional state that can be then used to leverage things against them, because everyone's blackmailing everyone and no one can know who's being treacherous where and what's happening with who on the other side of the galaxy and who's paying for this and who's smuggling that. So everything is about being composed and intentional. Everything, even the unintentional things must be unintentional. Things must be intentional. It's a huge game, and the beginning of the book is difficult to get through because of that, I think. But once you get past all of the introduction into the world, you can just sort of fall in and be immersed, and then you're in it. But these characters are in a very dire situation, and one character loses it. Like the first time in the book, this character loses it. So then a supporting character is like, yo, we need to train more. And he's like, how dare you? I've just achieved this pinnacle of societal intelligence or whatever. And she's like, you just freaked out. You've never freaked out. It's time to train. You don't know as much as you think you know. We've got to get back to basics. And they do so much with breathing and getting themselves into certain states of being in order to act a certain way or to be in communication with themselves, to think logically, especially in dire situations. They have to be calm. And something in my mind clicked. Because in terms of yoga, in terms of breath work, in terms of anxiety, in terms of being present, there's a lot of work that I have done about being in the current moment of like, oh, let me calm down because I need to be in this moment. And it's like moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. And so my idea was maybe not only breathing and all these exercises can help me in the moment, but what is it to plan to be patient for the future? And I don't think I'm painting as vivid of a picture for you as it was such a mountaintop revelation for me. It probably doesn't mean anything to you, but the point that all of that leads me to is the wisdom and the knowledge in books and stories beyond just the entertainment value. I think on the podcast my brother and I do, check out Junkyard Podcast, wherever podcasts are found, everywhere podcasts are found. We talk quite a bit about the difference between entertainment and art. One of the paradigms that we're working with is that entertainment is often what is more familiar, right? Then there isn't that barrier of, oh, I need to push past my pleasure in order to understand this. It is easily to it is easy to understand. It is easily consumed. It can happen and then be done. And that's not a judgment. That's nothing negative against entertainment. It's just sort of, I think, where we understand it. I think someone smarter than me said that. And then art is the less familiar. Art is what pushes the boundary more. Art is what has a greater capacity to make you feel uncomfortable, a deeper message. You look for things in art. There is searching in art. So there's just more opportunity to be uncomfortable because art is a little more about the unknown. And so I think seeing both the entertainment value of stories, specifically books, and the art value in books, in that we have an opportunity to learn something. I mean, there are books that are very obvious for learning. I listened to a book about time, a book about the natural forces, a book about reality and dark matter and the quanta of space and space-time and all these fantastical things that you might go, I really didn't want to lecture. So, I'm not going to turn to that for entertainment, but for art or to learn, to be pushed, those books are probably the more obvious choice. And in a book like Dune, you might think, oh, this is more on the spectrum, on the side of entertainment, of like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this primarily. And I am enjoying it. And at the same time, in this universe, there is so much philosophy baked in to the world, and there's so much philosophy that the characters themselves they're always quoting, they're always searching, they're always giving, living by, dying by philosophies. And I think that this creates an opportunity to learn while being entertained, which is something that I strive for so often. And I don't know if this was the writer's intention, but this is what I got from it. I think that's one of the amazing things about it is while being entertained, while being immersed in this world, I was able to learn something that changed how I thought. And so I was blown away by that. It was pretty amazing. Books, stories can change your life. And that's going to do it for me today. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I'll see you next time.